Hello, my name is Cristobal Peck, and today I will be covering discussions 10 through 13 of The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down. So, the two questions I wanted to answer today are what character or moment prompted the strongest emotional reaction for you? And also share a favorite quote or passage from the book from the assigned chapters. Why did this quote or passage stand out? So, for the first one, for the strongest emotional reaction, one of the moments that prompted the strongest emotional reaction for me is the whole situation with Martin. Although I know Martin probably has good intentions, it seems that no amount of knowledge can enable people to understand that just because you have knowledge does not mean that others are going to accept your point of view. So I say this only because I got a sense of egoism from Martin. I can understand that perhaps the curriculum of higher and academics must have been different back then, but again, there seems to be a lack of cultural competence when it comes to aiding individuals who are foreign to others. This is completely evident with Martin, as it seems, at least the way the book words the scenario, that he does not realize the barrier between the two opposing cultures, or at least he tries his best to ignore it. Perfect examples of this include when he asks Fao to take her pulse with a stopwatch, which they clearly do not have or could not understand. Talking about magnesium sulfate as they would understand. If I feel like he assumes that they know what magnesium sulfate is, and the odor for prune juice, which they were, as the book states, they were completely unaware about. It might not be intentional. It might not be intentional actions on Martin's part, but I feel like he should know better, especially with the type of knowledge that he has, that it is going to take more than a translator and smart words to help the family understand the situation they are in. Now, for my last question, share a favorite quote or passage in the book. So the quote that I chose was quote, simultaneously, in the eyes of the family practice staff, her parents were miraculously transformed from child abusers to modeled caregivers, end quote. So I feel like this quote stands out the most from the chapters because it highlights, at least to me, the change in perspective when the family is not held from the constraints of American medical and law enforcement system. However, I feel like something of great importance that comes out of this perspective is the amount of care and love that the Lees have for Leah. The book even quotes that within the Hmong culture, newborns that are born with a deformity or have a type of severe illness are still cared for and adored extensively. I say this because although Americans do exhibit the same behavior with their newborns, we also have a lot of opportunities to not care for the child, such as adoption or abortion, than other cultures do. So my question to to many of you is would perhaps the Hmong have a different perspective of options if they did have these resources available?